Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. So with Nexomon 1 officially being out on consoles, I figured that there would be a lot of both newcomers to Nexomon as well as veterans coming off of Extinction. As of such, I've decided to put together a list of 10 tips for both groups that will aid them in their Nexomon journey. Nexomon 1 is different in many ways to its sequel, so whether or not you're new, I think this guide will be helpful in understanding some of the game's systems. That said, let's dive in. Number 1, revenge killing and the speed stat. So in Nexomon 1, there's an interesting mechanic by which knocking out an enemy Nexomon will give them a free turn to attack. What this means is you can't simply rely on one glass cannon to sweep enemy teams, since you'll take damage on the same turn that you knock an enemy out. Furthermore, the speed stat in Nexomon 1 is actually the evasion stat. The way turns are doled out is not decided by speed, but rather the player always moves first. I think the revenge kill function wasn't added as a way to sort of balance that out. 2. Status conditions are OP. Yes, status conditions are super OP in Nexomon 1 to the point where you can pretty much spam hacks everything and make every boss fight pretty trivial. Status conditions like confusion, bind, and paralysis will cause the inflicted Nexomon to always lose their turn until the status wears off, and in confusion's case, they'll also take 1/10 of their max health in damage. While status inflicting moves have poor accuracy, if you put a move on your Nexomon that causes damage and has a chance to inflict the status condition, it's very powerful, as these moves are generally quite good, and the chance to inflict a status are generally pretty good too. Number 3, rarity. A very important aspect to Nexomon, especially Nexomon 1, is rarity. We did a whole video on this, but the basic gist is that there are different rarity tiers, including common, uncommon, rare, mega rare, and special. The more rare a Nexomon is, the more powerful it is, and subsequently will receive more evolutions. Common Nexomons don't evolve at all, uncommons evolve once, and anything above rare evolves twice. So not only are the more rare Nexomon much more powerful than the commons and uncommons, but they're also quantifying this by being stronger through evolution. My suggestion honestly is only to catch rare and above to avoid having to grind due to your Nexomon just having bad stats in general. Number 4, the level creep. Nexomon and its sequel both have quite the level creep between areas, and in many cases will leave you feeling like you're very under-leveled, especially if you're not grinding. One important thing to note is that Nexomon does not have IVs or EVs, and you can swap your moves out on the fly, which means that if you do find a Nexomon that's of the same species as yours, but a higher level, it's just objectively better. You're better off catching it than training the one you have. During my own run, I came into a much higher level Monolix and simply just replaced mine with it because it's exactly the same but better. Also, don't be afraid to swap out your Nexomon as well, because you don't get punished for catching wild ones. Number 5, starters in the wild. Speaking of catching Nexomon, don't fret too much when you start the game and have to choose your starter. The great thing is that every starter can be caught within the first hour or so of gameplay, so you're not locking yourself in like you do in Pokemon. Pick whichever starter you think looks the coolest, and then if you want to add some more to that list, you could check out this video I put together showcasing all of the starter Nexomon locations. Links will be in the description. Number 6, gold Nexo traps. So the game has only 2 types of Nexo traps. The first is your basic one that you'll be using the majority of the time, and the second is the golden Nexo trap that can capture any Nexomon without fail. Unlike the Master Ball from Pokemon, however, these are actually quite abundant, being found in multiple locations throughout the game. Don't be scared to use it on a mega rare tier or a special tier if you're out of regular Nexo traps. Number 7, running from battles counts as a win. So this next one is for those trophy and achievement hunters. Running from wild battles actually counts as a win for the achievements associated to winning a certain number of battles. I have yet to try it on the console versions, however this definitely works on the Steam version, and it should be the same there as well. This means that you can quickly grind up through the relevant amount of wins needed in order to lock all the subsequent trophies. Number 8, gears. There are 5 gear items within the game. These items are very helpful in different ways. You have roller skates that let you move faster, the EXP share, the EXP multiplier, and more. Make sure you check out every nook and cranny of the game and utilize these gear items to your advantage. I will be uploading a video going over some of these gear locations tomorrow, so stay tuned. If you're watching this the day after upload, then it'll be linked below in the description box. Number 9, move diversity. One great thing about Nexomon 1 in comparison to that of its sequel is the move pool diversity within the game. Normally in Nexomon Extinction, the Nexomon can only learn moves of their own type and normal type. However, in Nexomon 1, that's not the case. Nexomon like the Pachara line get access to their own elemental type, of course being electric, but also will get access to wind type moves since it's a bird. I think this is actually much better in my opinion, as it adds a better layer of strategy to the combat system instead of having, for example, water types always getting decked by plant types, etc, etc, etc. And finally, number 10, type matchups. It's very important to keep in mind the various type matchups present within the game. Each type other than normal has 2 weaknesses and 2 resistances. You can utilize this chart here for reference or check out my type chart video for a more comprehensive breakdown. And there you have it, guys. Those were 10 tips that I think everybody should keep in mind when starting their Nexomon journey. I do hope this video was useful to you, and if it was, please make sure to subscribe for more Nexomon content just like this. Special thanks to Steelcase, Jim Hamilton, and the rest of our patrons. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.